Hello, very good evening, students. I welcome you all to my English class. This is me, your Tharun sir. Today's topic is related to our academics, as all the classes which we have been dealt for the last couple of months. Students, those are all grammar particulars. From today, we are going to start our academics. And today, the first unit that we are going to learn. The number is 6, but still for us, 6th unit. Biodiversity. This is a unit today we are going to learn about. So, part of biodiversity, the first A reading that we have is environment. Environment. So this is a reading environment that we are going to learn for the day, students. So before starting with the content, let me explain you what is bio and what is diversity. The words particularly. See, bio is life, students, life of anything. Like a life of maybe an animal, aquatic life, or maybe our human life. The one in which it holds a life in it comes under the word bio. Bio means life. And what is diversity? Like you know, this is a terrestrial region. In terrestrial region, we of the land, we are called human, like we all are humans, and ours is human life. And in water, we have aquatic life. Okay. And in the forest, we have lots of animals, right? That is animal life. You understood what am I speaking? So students, so different forms of life is called biodiversity. This is what the introduction and definition of this unit. So for a 10th standard students, is it really required to learn biodiversity? Sir, it sounds more like a science word. Yes, exactly. But you know, my dear students, we are all social animals, and in this very environment, our character, our behavior, and our presence makes a lot of difference. You know that, right? So part of this, in our English language, we have wide variety of knowledge that we are going to learn for the day. So this is all about biodiversity, students. In biodiversity, we have 3 readings: A reading, B reading, and C reading. Okay. So first of all, today we are going to learn about environment. Environment is a word derived from other language in which it defines like the surroundings in which we live is called environment. What is environment? Surroundings in which we live is called environment or environment. Okay, so surroundings in which we live is called environment. We are one of the species living in this environment. Homo sapiens, like human beings. What am I speaking is Homo sapiens. These are the species. We are all species, different kind of species, like birds, like crawlers, like animals, like we are some other species. So what is our role in environment? What is our role in environment? So part of this environment, we are going to learn about an interview. This reading is an interview of a great woman, you know, an African woman who is above 60 years, black belongs to African continent. Students, today we are going to learn the way she given her answers in an interview. Who is that woman? This woman introduction is known to all the world. You know what? Why? She was pretty famous and she has been popular all these days. You know what, students? She received Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel Peace Prize. Her name is Wangari Maathai. Her name is Wangari Maathai. She's a woman, students. She's a woman. She's about 60 years old. She's a black African woman. Why I'm stressing on black? Africa is a continent of blacks. Even though it was ruled by whites, but mostly the original breed present there belongs to the Africa are black people. So being a black woman, okay, and Africa, you know, a place, a continent which is so backward, even though the place is rich in minerals, gold, diamonds, and coal, but still it is so ignorant. Most of the people still suffering from hunger, below poverty line. If you browse all about Africa, this African continent is so backwards compared to other continents like Asia and also America. You know what? Australia also much more developed, sophisticated than Africa. So this woman from such a continent, she received Nobel Peace Prize. She received Nobel Prize, all right? And why? Sir, what she did for human beings or humanity, Nobel Peace Prize is such a great honor, the highest honor given to a human being for their contribution, their dedication, their determination, and their sacrifice of life for the human beings. Even, yes, she is not a prime minister, she is not a scientist, nor she is a doctor or a teacher. She is an ordinary African woman. But you know what? What her title is? She is a social reformer, students. Social worker, we can say like social worker, a social reformer. What she did? She ran a green belt movement. This is a campaign. Green belt movement is a campaign held and organized by Wangari Maathai, in which, you know, she transformed Africa into greenery, and she connected environment to the peace. What is environment? What is peace? How can it would be possible to achieve peace in such an environment? Isn't it, students? అసలు శాంతియుతంగా బ్రతకడము, జీవన విధానము పర్యావరణానికి ఎలా సంబంధం ఉంది? తను ఏమంటుంది తెలుసా? ఎప్పుడైతే మన పర్యావరణము సస్యశ్యామలంగా, ఆకుపచ్చనిగా, ఎక్కడైనా కానీ మెండుగా చెట్లు చేమలతోని, పక్షులతోని, జంతువులతోని కలకల్లాడుతూ వృక్ష సంపద కలిగి ఉంటుందో అక్కడ ప్రజలు శాంతియుతమైన జీవితంతో ఉంటారని చెప్పేసి her philosophy, and that she achieved for that only she received Nobel Prize. You know, it's not an ordinary thing, students. It is an extraordinary achievement. It's what I have to say, you know, it's an example for the rest of the human beings on the earth. Peace can be possible through good environment. That's our philosophy is. So students, now let us learn about the questions. What and who took the interview? Before starting the interview, going into the content and the reading of our let us know who conducted this interview, who took her interview. Wangari Maathai's interview was taken by NHK Radio. They are not Indians. They are not American students. This NHK Radio people are not Americans, not Indians, or not Australians. Who are those, you know? They are Japanese. They belong to the country Japan people. Their radio, Nippon Hoso Kyokai. The radio name is what? Nippon Hoso Kyokai. This Nippon Hoso Kyokai radio channel reporter taken the interview of great Wangari Maathai. So what were the questions asked in it? What was her views related to the environment that we are going to study today? All right, students. So this is all about the introduction of this lesson, environment, and about green, like Wangari Maathai and the Green Belt movement. This is all introduction. We have not yet entered into the class. Okay. So we will discuss now each and every question. What was the question and what is the answer that she delivered? Okay. So now, students, I would like to write the questions as well on the board, or else, yeah, I'll talk much, and you know, related to that, I'll have some space taken from here. Okay. Here I'll write the first question. These Japanese people asked Wangari Maathai, how did you become aware of environment? This is the first question they asked. This is the first question. So, how did you become aware of environment? See, the first interview starts like this. Hello, ma'am. I'm really excited to take your interview. Then Wangari Maathai says, the pleasure is all mine. Please be seated. Feel free to ask any sort of questions. So interview starts in this way. First of all, the interviewer greets the host, the guest, sorry. Who is that? Our Wangari Maathai. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to our channel, Nippon Hoso Kyokai. It's a great pleasure, and I'm really excited to take an interview of yours. This is a sentence spoken by, these are the words spoken by the reporter. Then Wangari Maathai says, hello, it's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for this opportunity. Feel free to ask any sort of question. So this is what the interview starting question and how we have to start the interview ask. And why am I saying in this view, you know, students, you have 10 marks question. Discord says creative writing. You have 10 marks question interview. So let us go through. This would be a little helpful for you. The exact process how. Now this Japanese person asked, Madam, how did you become aware of the environment? అసలు మీకు ఈ పర్యావరణం పట్ల అవగాహన ఎలా వచ్చింది? మీకు ఆసక్తి ఎలా కలిగింది? How you related yourself with this environment? So this is a question. Avagahana, aware means avagahana. Okay. How did you become aware of environment? ఈ పర్యావరణం పట్ల మీకు అవగాహన ఎలా కలిగింది? Or ఎలా వచ్చింది? This is a question asked by the Japanese people. So now, what she answered, my dear students. Listen. From the basic, from the initial days, the day we started campaigning, we were trying to respond to the basic needs of the people in the rural areas. In the rural areas, this Wangari Mata, she went to rural areas to know their issues, their problems, what they are suffering with. So wherever she visited in the initial days of her career as a social worker, in the rural areas, the people were asking for clean drinking water, food, shelter, and also fodder for their animals. Fodder for their animals. What are those three things? One is food, shelter, okay, and also fodder for their animals. And primarily clean drinking water. They were asking for clean drinking water. So Wangari Mata understood that. I understood that. These three have to be getting from this very land. These three comes from the land. Whatever as a social reformer, social worker, I have to do with the land. Isn't it, students? Our food comes from the land. Our clothes or our shelter, firewood or building wood. Okay. And also cotton comes from where? Not from the sky, from the land. Isn't it? And fodder for the animals, dhanyam, wala jantulaku, vaati kuda grasam kavali kada, adi kuda ekkadi nunchi vastadi, bhumilo nunche vastadi. So she understood that whatever I have to do with this land. But there is no government which is really looking into their issues. The government is not at all caring. So okay, I wanted to do something for them. That I have to do with the land. But what happened? The land is not fertile, ma. You know, Africa, the sun hits directly on their heads. It is very near to the equator or something like sun. The days will be little longer in African countries. And the temperature would be rather high compared to America and Asia. The temperature is very high in Africa. So the lands are buried. The lands are completely degraded. Akkada bhumi anta kuda ela undante Africalo మూడు వారిపోయినాయి అన్నమాట, ఎండిపోయాయమ్మా. So how we have to create life in from that? These are all have to do with the environment. So slowly this Wangari Mata understood that I have to rehabilitate, పునరావాసం అంటారమ్మా తెలుగులో, rehabilitate the environment. When we rehabilitate the environment అంటే మళ్ళీ అక్కడ జీవం లేని ఒక స్థలంలో జీవాన్ని కలగచేయడం, అంటే జీవాన్ని పుట్టించడం, ఫెర్టైల్ గా చేయడం, సాయిల్ అనువుగా తయారు చేయాలి, మళ్ళీ అక్కడ గ్రీనరీ చేయాలి అనే ఉద్దేశంతో తను అర్థమైందంట. ఎవరో వచ్చి సహాయం చేయరు, గవర్నమెంట్ కూడా పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు. అక్కడ ఒకవేళ గవర్నమెంట్ పట్టించుకోవాలనుకున్నా అక్కడ కావాల్సిన ఫండ్స్ లేవు, న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్సెస్ లేవు. సో ఎలా హెల్ప్ చేస్తుంది వంగారి మాత? చేయలేదు కదా. సో షీ అండర్స్టూడ్ దాట్ she has to rehabilitate. So that is how, in this way, she got awareness about the environment. Whatever she has to do with the land or environment. You understood? This is the first question mark. Why? How did you become aware of environment? All right, students. Next question. I'm going to answer what she given. I'm going to write the answer also so that you can remember. Like the words which are there, you have to read it in the textual context. I'll write some words, like I'll tell you some words which are really important. Sustainable, sustiram, and sthiramaina. Okay. Fodder, dhanyam. Rehabilitation, punaravasam. In Telugu, students. Okay. There are quite a few words that we have to learn for our English language, right? These are really important. So now I'm writing the answer, like all the basic needs, like food, water, shelter. Shelter means wood. These all have to come from the land. So land has to be rehabilitated. So this is how she answered the first question asked by the Japanese people. In our English prospect, you have to learn some good words from that, how she well used in that, and also what is a 10th student responsibility for the environment. Part of, you are a 10th student. Why these academic people have introduced a concept which is related to science? Because you are a social animal. The 10th standard student must know their role in the environment. We have to be responsible for our environment. There is so importance for our role in our environment. That's why we have to study. Understood, students? So this is the first question, and the wonderful answer delivered by the Wangari Mata. Let us see the second question, students. Second question. How is peace connected to good environment? How is peace connected to good environment? The question says in this way. చక్కటి పర్యావరణము శాంతియుతమైన జీవనానికి ఎలాంటి సంబంధం ఉంది? This was the question asked by the Japanese people to the Wangari Maatai, NHK radio to the Wangari Maatai. Wangari Maatai, what she was saying, you know what? From the early days, if you check our history, all the wars were fought for what? Natural resources. And some of the wars were fought due to the presence of very less natural resources. For that they have fought, because insufficient natural resources distribution. And some wars are fought due to the supremacy and power they have acquired, they have taken, they were dragged. Some wars were fought in this way. But whatever the wars were went on in our world, they are all because of natural resources, isn't it? They fought for natural resources, right? Kashmir, still we fight with Pakistan. Why we are not giving up that land? Kashmir, why we are saying ours, and why they wanted Kashmir, Pakistan? Because Kashmir is a place rich in water, climatic zone, and also it's a protection for India. Such a great climate, different trees, and main source for rainfall. Therefore, we fight for that. Such kind of, that is also one of the natural resources. So she says that, Vangari Mata says that. So unequal distribution of natural resources or unavailability of natural resources leads to conflicts అంటే జగడం లేదా గొడవ, డిస్టర్బెన్స్. సో ఇలాంటివి జరిగేట ఎందుకు అంటే న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్సెస్ అందరికీ కూడా అవైలబుల్ గా లేకపోవడమే. So she says that in order to have a good environment, peace one, okay, good governance is needed, and also sustainable management of natural resources is also needed. Sustainable management of resources ante enti ante సుస్థిరమైన natural resources అన్నింటినీ కూడా చక్కగా యూజ్ చేసుకోవడం అన్నట్టు, మన తరాలే కాకుండా మన భావి తరాల వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఉపయోగపడే విధంగా మనం ఏ నేచర్ ని కూడా ఖరాబ్ చేయకుండా, నాశనం చేయకుండా కాపాడుకుంటూ మనం బ్రతుకుతూ నెక్స్ట్ జనరేషన్స్ వాటిని కూడా బ్రతికించే విధానాన్ని సస్టైనబుల్ మేనేజ్ అంటారు. అయితే ఈ మూడు కూడా ఆఫ్రికన్ స్టూల్ లాంటివి అన్నమాట. ఆఫ్రికా అనే ఒక కాంటినెంట్ ని ఒక 3 కాళ్ళు ఉన్న స్టూల్, అంటే 3-legged a stool is compared to the African continent. One has to be good governance, okay, second one is peace, third one is sustainable management. So this Vangari Mata says that in our Africa, no government has equally distributed the national resources. She accepted that, and the people who are under poverty, they are under poverty, and the people who are little powerful, they acquired all the natural resources. They are making their good life, but here the people are dying from the poverty levels. Okay, so these 3 are the legs of an African stool. Africa, good governance must be there. When a good government is there, the people have a democratic space. There will be a democratic space. So when there will be a democratic space, everyone will have a happy life using available natural resources. So therefore she says that peace is connected to the environment. When environment gives natural resources which is equally distributed by the government, ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక గవర్నమెంట్ చక్కగా తనకున్న అవైలబుల్ లో ఉన్న న్యాచురల్ రిసోర్సెస్ అన్నింటినీ కూడా అందరికీ సమానంగా పంచితే ఖచ్చితంగా అక్కడ పీసే ఉంటుంది. సింపుల్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నా క్లాస్ లో 50 మెంబర్స్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు. 50 స్టూడెంట్స్ కి 50 యాపిల్స్ ఇచ్చాననుకో ఎలాంటి గొడవ ఉండదు. అదే 50 స్టూడెంట్స్ లో ఓన్లీ నా దగ్గర ఉన్న 20 యాపిల్స్ అంటే 20 యాపిల్స్ మాత్రమే ఇచ్చాననుకో మిగతా 30 వాళ్ళందరూ గొడవ చేస్తారు కదా, మాకెందుకు ఇవ్వలేదని. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్. That is where the conflict arises. If the natural resources are made available for all the 50 students, how it would be? Everyone will be happy. So this is the answer given to the Japanese people. In this way, peace is connected to the good environment. Students, hereby I'll end up this session. All right. So this is how the introduction all about Vangari Mata. and you know the things, and also keep reading the important words. If you feel like some words are unfamiliar with you, you note down that words in your classwork, somewhere in the notes, and know the vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important, students. So this is how the role of Vangari Mate, what she was speaking about all environment and what she done. There are so many, more 5 questions are there. So students, we will see in the next class. All right. Thank you very much.